Hey guys, welcome to We're Not on Drugs. I am your host, and he is your co-host. Let's get
Hello.
into it. And well, I wanted to take this to touch on something serious because of something that happened. I'm not for her privacy, but what to make it long, what happened to my girlfriend was she was at school and like to make it very short, she was at school and like these came up to her. Like I'm taking some of the story out because yeah, some of it is, but I mean, like basically these guys came up to her and started touching up on her and then beat the crap out of her. I wanted to talk about that, like situations like that, and just like is a little, I guess I don't know, just because it's wrong and nobody should have to go through that.
Yeah, I've gone through such like, and that pain, it sucks. That sticks with you for a very long time. Um, I've had a situation where I was not safe. I was in a very abusive situation, and it's been what 7 years since then, and I'm still not recovered, so I can't imagine what she's going through.
Yeah, just not right.
Mm. And I don't understand how someone could do something like that to anybody else. Like, that's a human being.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. I don't even pretend to understand it.
Mm. I, it's always confuzzled me how someone could so easily ruin another person's life.
Yo,
Yeah,
I shall return.
Okay.
I'm gonna run and grab another fan.
Mm.
You got the black one working, right?
Yes, I'm trying to record a podcast episode, Mother. I'm sorry, my mother has walked into the room.
that's that's fine. It's just a little brief moment. It's
Yeah. Brief intermission.
just anywho, back to what we were talking about.
Yes.
But yeah, I just don't get how people could go through stuff like that. It's just, yeah,
Yeah. I know a person, they're a very strong person. They've gone through a lot, and they went through, I'm not going to say their name, but they went through years of sexual abuse, and they came out stronger than ever. And I am very happy for them because me, who went through years of sexual abuse, I'm still fucked up from that.
yeah, it fucks you up. It
Mm,
really does.
yeah, like I have mental damage that is never going to be reversed, and like I'm slowly working on it. And over the years, like I'm realizing how terrible it was that that happened, but also how that's affected me as a human.
I mean, like, I mean, once you go through something like that, you can never really go back.
Yeah, there's always going to be that haunting memory or that trauma that stays with you.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um, yeah. When I was younger, my mother's ex-husband, he was abusive towards the both of us. And we left when I was about 9. And the day we left was the best day of my life. But I remember thinking it was completely fine and it was completely normal, but it is not.
yeah, it's fucked up.
Hmm.
There's some fucked up people in this world.
Yeah. I just, it angers me that someone could just ruin another human being's life with no guilt whatsoever.
I know they don't even care. Like,
Mm. They think it's just like, not, like, there was a friend of mine who, uh, there was a guy who kept on, like, hitting on her and, like, just making her very uncomfortable. And she didn't like it, but she didn't speak up, and it, like, really messed with her.
yeah, yeah, they messed up.
Mm.
Yeah,
And so many people think it's okay to, when they're in abusive or situations where they're not safe, and they think it's okay, and afterwards they think it's okay, but it's not.
yeah, it's not normal.
Mm. And, like, it's not good to think it's okay on either end of the situation, whether you're the person, like, doing it or you're the person, like, who's dealing with it. It's not okay on either end.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
There's,
Um,
there's so much messed up stuff in this world.
I don't understand it. There's so much just crooked things in this world, and we shrug it off as if it's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, I hope your girlfriend's doing okay after that.
like mentally, I don't know. Physically, she, I think she,
Mm, yeah, I don't know.
yeah,
I
I,
didn't really go through mental abuse as much as I did physical abuse, so I wouldn't know anything about that, but I know about physical abuse.
yeah, really not right.
Mm, it's fucked up.
Yeah. Mm,
Um,
the,
hmm,
mm, I don't,
hmm, yeah. I don't know if you have any stories about situations such like, but I do.
I, I don't.
Ah,
Like, I, like, when my girlfriend told me about this, I was like, this needs to be out there. Like, I mean, today, before we started recording this, I asked it alright if I what I went through on my podcast, and
mm, yeah.
uh,
It,
I don't really want to talk
mm,
about her. She's going through it. she doesn't want me to talk about it.
Yeah. And like so many people need to become aware of some of the messed up like stuff that goes on because like when I was younger and like I was going through that, I didn't know that it was messed up because I didn't hear about it. No one told me that what I was going through was bad. I thought it was normal. I thought everyone went through it.
When you're, it's like, it's more easier to like know what's right and what's wrong. But like, I mean, when you're young, when you're a child, it's more of like you really know what's normal, what's right, what's wrong.
Yeah, it would also help if like schools and parents were more strict about teaching their kids what's right and what's wrong and what's normal and what's not normal. Because like for example, if my school had taught me like, hey, like what you're going through isn't okay and it isn't normal, then I probably would have told my mother about what was going on, and we probably could have gotten out of that situation a lot sooner.
Yeah.
It,
And another like little thing, I'm not sure if we should talk about this episode or not.
we
It's
can go ahead and talk about it.
yeah. Thinking like as we're talking about like stuff, like we touched up on like abuse, like physical abuse.
Hmm.
I was um what I want to touch up on also bring it spotlight was I don't really want to say it, but
Hmm.
I don't want to say it, but rape.
Mm, yeah, yeah, no, you know, so I'm fairly open about my trauma, and my biological father, he was never a very good human. And I would occasionally, because he's a truck driver, and I would occasionally go on truck with him, and like while he was making deliveries and such, because it was fun for me. And I had gone a pretty long time without even seeing him. And then he came and shown up one day, was like, hey, can I take him on the truck? And my parents were like, yeah, sure, that's fine. And when we went on the truck, he had to like stop the truck at a parking lot for his 10-hour reset. And during that, there was only one bed on the truck because the top bunk was covered with nothing but like trash and such. But he had like set it up so that I could have a bed. Um, but there was a thunderstorm and I got scared. And mind you, I was like pretty little at the time. And so I crawled into his bed with him, and he started humping me as I was cuddling with him. And that was a very traumatic experience. You okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. But um I don't know. I feel like some people go through it, others don't. And either way, we all have like struggles and hard things we have to deal with. So I'm not saying like, oh, pity me, but I'm just saying like, hey, if you've gone through this, you're not the only one.
Yeah. Because I wanted to touch up on that because it is a form of abuse in a way.
Mhm. Yeah.
But I
I
wasn't
have
sure. Uh, yeah,
hmm?
sorry, you go ahead.
uh I don't know. I have plenty of stories of abuse and such, but there's some that I can't talk about and others I can.
Yeah, I get it, but funny thing.
Hmm.
So my biological parents, my mother, like when I was born, I never met her because she used drugs. I was when she was pregnant with me and a lot of things. Like also, it's funny because my dad, biological dad, and he used to be. That's who I live with, but he used to be a truck driver.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, and like I can't imagine half the shit you go through because of that. Like, I know what it's like not going without a father, but your mother, that's the one person who cares about you the most out of anyone else and would die for you. So I couldn't imagine the suffering you go through.
like my mother, I never met, and mother who my dad married to, which was a different person. She died when I was either 3.5 or 4.5. I think it's 3.5.
Hmm. I'm debating whether I say something or not because I don't know if that would be touchy for you or not.
I mean, go ahead. Wouldn't really
Okay.
matter.
Have you ever thought of trying to get in contact with your biological mother, or has she passed away?
I don't. I don't know. Never really thought about it because I do want to take a DNA test just because. But
I will,
I mean,
if you want to bad enough, I will buy you one.
yeah. But I mean, like just to find out. But I don't. I'm not sure if I would want to meet her though,
Yeah,
because my told me about her.
yeah, that's completely understandable. But yeah, just a thought that came to my mind. I don't know. I'm, I don't know. Sometimes I'm, I'm grateful that I know my biological father, and other times I wish I never met him.
Yeah.
But I feel like everyone has someone like that in their life.
Oh yeah.
I feel like everyone has someone who like sometimes they're grateful for and other times they hate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, around how long do we want this episode to be?
I normally go stretch. I normally try to stretch these things out to an hour. It's
Okay. Yeah.
only been 19 minutes.
That's okay. We'll figure it out.
We will figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
also, so this is kind of off topic, but also sort of on topic. Um, my mother so my mother has gone through a lot of things, and my mother has put me through a lot of things. She never abused me, but due to her, I've gone through some things. And the other day, a friend of mine asked me, after all you've gone through due to your mother, why do you still love her? And my answer for that was, I have the best mother someone could ever ask for. When we left my mom's
Yeah.
ex-husband, so that I could take my toys, she didn't pack any of her clothes. She took 2 outfits and that was it.
Damn.
Yeah, because I wanted to keep all my toys.
Huh.
Yeah,
But, yeah.
fun stuff.
Just,
Gary the Gay Tree, sorry. Completely off like the sad and like serious topics, but I just found Gary the Gay Tree. Gary the Gay No, Gary the Gay Tree, okay? He's this little, like those little tiny like fake trees you get during Christmas?
uh,
Yeah, it's one of those, okay, but he's rainbow and I got him for Christmas maybe like 1 or 2 years ago. Okay, and then I put guys on him.
picture.
Yeah, he's Gary the Gay Tree. If you still have that picture, set that as is is there like an image you can set as like the photo for this episode?
Uh,
Or not sure.
I can't really set personal photos like like different photos for each episode. It's only one photo, and that's the image for the podcast.
Never mind then. But
But
Gary the Gay Tree is beautiful, okay? He's
yeah,
amazing. Yeah. But back to the serious topics.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, if any of y'all listening out there is going through anything like this, I don't imagine what you might be going through if you are, but I mean, if you are, I'm going to do some research and put like websites you could visit and like numbers you could call in the description of this episode.
Speaking of like websites and such like that, for abuse and such, I got very excited because I love talking about this. The Trevor Project. Do you know what it is?
No.
The Trevor Project, I've actually had to call their hotline a multitude of times, is a um like sort of like a nonprofit organization, but not really. But it's for LGBTQ youth, and they have like suicide hotline. They have like a number you can text if you're ever like feeling down on yourself. They have millions of resources to help you.
Yeah.
I I love talking about the Trevor Project.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah. If like if any of y'all is going through stuff like this out there, I'm going to put in like number and websites you could call slash visit in the description below so you could try to get some help, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a therapist.
Neither am I. As a matter of fact, if I were a therapist, I'd be a terrible therapist.
Oh, I
Um,
I tried being a therapist one time actually. Like a couple of my friends and I were on Spoon and I made a live. It was like a therapy and like
oh no.
like people could call in and we could like they could say their problems and we could answer them. One of us was one of us would actually try to help the person, and me and would like just move to Mexico.
Okay, sorry,
So
this is completely off topic, but
yeah.
speaking of Mexico, okay, I'm sorry, this is absolutely terrible, but I was watching Family Guy the other day, and there was an episode where this Mexican woman wanted to get across the border back to Mexico to see her husband for Valentine's Day. And as she's trying to cross the border, people start shooting at her, and and one of them goes, "Wait, why are we shooting at her? She's trying to go over the. Trying to go back to Mexico." And the other person says, "It's Arizona. We can shoot a Mexican for drinking out of a water fountain." And that angered me so much because I know it's true.
But it's funny.
It's funny. Yes, it is funny, but it angers me that that is true.
Yeah.
Speaking of fucked up shit in America, nah.
But yeah, I guess the back on topic. Sorry, getting a little off topic here,
Yes, very
but
off topic.
sorry. But anyways, back on topic. Um, any more stories or anything you want to share?
Um, not really.
Because I have none. I
Yeah.
got
I mean, I do have a couple that I'd be like happy to share. Only issues they're very dark and very triggering. Not for me,
I
but for other people.
that I can like if you do tell the stories, that's where I can kind of help there because when it gets to time to upload, it just in the description, just put a quick warning, just a trigger
Yeah,
the other stuff and put down there.
yeah. I mean, I guess I have a couple. When I was about 5, 6 years old, I lived in a tiny town in Wyoming, called Meeteetse, Wyoming, and even people who live in Wyoming don't know what Meeteetse is or where it is because of how tiny it is. There's like a population of maybe like 300 there. It is so small. And
Yeah.
one day, so at the time I lived with my mother, my mom's ex-husband, the piece of shit, and my uh at the time he was my stepbrother. I still consider him my brother. I still talk to him and I am still I still keep communication with him. I still consider him family to me, even though he's not. But um, my mother's ex-husband had a tendency to uh, be dramatic in order to start drama and get attention. And one day he accused my mother of sleeping with my brother.
What?
And yeah, like what the hell? Because okay, let's say my mother's ex-husband's name is Steve. Okay, let's say his name's Steve. And Steve is in his 60s. My mother is 25, which makes it 10 times worse. And my brother James is 24. So, of course, the age kind of lines up there. But that's the thing. My mother saw him as a son, even due to the age difference. And of course, this broke out a huge fight, and I was just sitting in my room playing with my toys, having a good time, when I hear something break, like something glass break. And I came running out of my room to see what was going on. And my mother's ex-husband, Steve, forgot what I called him for a second, had broken a vase on the floor in order to get more attention. And like, of course, it scared me because like normally when stuff like that was happening, I was about to get hit. And so I ran off to my room, and I remember sitting there crying for a good 3 hours as they were yelling. And then finally the yelling stops, and about 5 minutes later, my mother walks in the room and says, "Hey, we're going for a bit." And we went to a hotel for a couple days. And that set, I don't know how to explain it, that changed everything from then on. Because then my mother and I became friends with the owner of that hotel. And almost every time my mother got in a fight with him, we'd go to that hotel. And so I practically lived there.
Damn.
That's fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Trying to think of another story that isn't too triggering.
Hmm.
So my mother, okay, this one's kind of funny, but also kind of fucked up. My mother and Steve were very, very, very heavy potheads. And like one day I came home from school and I had a really bad day. I was really exhausted. I was really tired. And I went and fell asleep on my bed. And I guess during that time, they went and got high in the living room. And when I woke up, I got contact high. Like just the smell of it alone made me high. And I remember freaking the hell out because I didn't know why I was feeling like this because I didn't know what high was. So I was like, why am I feeling like this? What's going on? Like, why am I freaking out like this? And then a couple years later, I realized, oh, that's what happened.
Yeah. I mean, it's very easy to either get high or get a contact high at least.
Mm, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that wasn't the only time I got contact high. It was almost every freaking day at that point. So I was just
Mm.
used to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Still trying to think of stories that aren't too messed up. I do have a story, not of mine, but from a friend of mine. Uh, and so I'm on the autistic spectrum, but I'm high functioning. This friend of mine has Asperger's syndrome, and she has
Same.
never really been able to handle emotion well. Huh?
Just saying I also am on that scale.
Oh, that's awesome. But she's never been able to really handle like confrontation or like people yelling at her. And one day, so we used to go to the same school, and one day we were hanging out, I think it was like second grade, and someone came up to her and started bullying her, and I like tried to tell them to back off and they wouldn't. And she started breaking down in tears because she can't handle people yelling at her very well, and neither can I. But she just started breaking down in tears, and that made them start picking on her even more. And um, I went and I stood up to him, and he would not quit. And no matter what I tried, he just would not quit picking on her. And so eventually I got fed up and I punched him. And he went and he told one of the teachers, and like out of all that situation, he didn't get any punishment whatsoever. And that still stuck with her just because like he did that to her and he didn't get any form of punishment or anything.
Yeah, like he should have been.
Yeah, should have got some form of punishment, but no, nothing at all.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah. Um, Hmm. There was one time, this one isn't that sad, and it's not about me, because there's been so many times where I talk about my trauma, and then people are like, oh, you're trying to make me pity you, and I'm like, I'm not, though, and so I'm trying my hardest not to
Um,
make that happen. But there was a time when, so my mother used to have these dolls, okay? She had them since she was about 6 years old, and she loved them, and they stayed in their boxes, and they were all pretty and they looked nice. And then when we moved to a new house, when we lived in Matitsi, we moved from one house to like a couple blocks down because the house was bigger. And she didn't have a place to put them without taking them out of their boxes. So she took them out of their boxes and they were like sitting there looking nice. And uh they her and Steve got in a fight about something. And he grabbed one of them, and they were porcelain dolls, which means they're glass. And he grabbed one of them and smashed them. He threw it up against a wall and it broke. And that shattered my mother's heart. And she still talks about that. She still gets upset about that to this day.
like, I mean, porcelain dolls are fucking creepy.
But they're like, I collect porcelain dolls. I love porcelain dolls. I can see how they're creepy, but at the same time, like, they're this cute little thing. And they just sit there and they keep you company.
Okay, I've I had this one friend. Can't I I can't get a hold of him anymore. I don't know what happened, but look, uh, when we were friends, we were talking, and he somehow the conversation of dolls came up. He said he was a, a porcelain dolls, but like regular dolls are, and it's just porcelain creep them out.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know.
I
One thing
don't.
that creeps
I
me
never
out.
got his. Yeah, I got his
Hmm,
actual name. Yeah, the dude's actual name. We just called him Henta.
hmm, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. One thing, this is off topic. One thing that has always creeped me out is I'm a furry, okay? And in fursuits, there's something called follow me eyes that you can get. It's like an add-on. And that has always creeped me out because when you look at them, their eyes will follow you. And it always scares me.
That's creepy.
Yeah, I'll send you a video of one when we're done with this. They are so creepy. They
Yeah.
are so freaking scary. I, and so many people like them, and I'm like, no, they're scary.
I like as you because like your fault, but anywho, uh, as you know, I'm also a furry. Um, so one of a really good old friend of mine. He and he knows what a furry is exactly because when my dad didn't know what a furry was either, and when he asked, like my friend answered, but I don't know what a furry
Mm.
is. Um, what my friend said was somebody who identifies as an animal.
No,
Yeah.
no. And the other day I was in class and I was talking with a friend of mine, and the conversation of furries came up, and someone was like, "You can be a furry. You don't have a fursuit." All you need to do to be a furry is like anthropomorphic animals. Anthropomorphic animals are just animals who can walk on two legs and talk, just humanoid animals. That's all you have to do to be a furry. And if you don't want to be and if you don't want to be a furry, but you still like anthropomorphic animals, that's fine. You don't have to be a furry.
Yeah. But like when this friend uh again in the future, so I'll just call him my dad and Jeremy were talking, and Jeremy was said how was talking like to dad, like how he had to like do detention after school because Je- as a Jeremy, like he in trouble for he like the school called it bullying, but he calls it speaking the truth. But he's like the dude who's messing around with a furry, a what was trans, and he was also um
You
I
okay?
can't remember what the third thing,
Oh,
but another thing. I can't remember what it was. Maybe it'll come back to me as we're speaking. I don't know. But if it, I'll tell you that. Anywho,
confused? Well, he's dead. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's dead. Well, this is my podcast now. Yay, nah, nah. Um, Matthew, you okay? Hello? I am so confused.
hey, so in this, you'll hear this like this is like days after what you just heard. You'll hear this like instantly right after, but what we were talking about earlier, so I got this friend, call him Jeremy, I guess. Jeremy has a picture of a furry hunting license on his phone.
Yes.
Um, it's like what he told me about it. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of got a little miffed, but I mean, it was
It's
fine.
kind of funny at the same time, though.
Yeah, it's funny, but I got miffed at the same time.
Yeah. Because we both happen to be furries. Yay.
Yeah, he doesn't know that, but yeah.
Yes. Have you told anyone that you're a furry?
A lot of people.
Okay.
I told a lot of people, but my friend Jeremy doesn't even know what a furry is.
Oh no.
Yeah, because like I'd send him this afterwards, but after it's like uploaded and everything. But I mean, like my dad, like he was saying how this friend of his not his friend, but this person who he goes to school with. Yeah, he was saying how the person was transgender and how the person was a furry and this, that, and the other thing. And my dad asked what a furry was. I didn't say anything. But I just stayed silent the whole entire time. But his response to when my dad asked what a furry was somebody who wants to be an animal, somebody who identifies as an animal.
No,
That was his response.
that's terrible.
Yeah.
That's just as bad as assuming. Well, not as bad, but one of my like pet peeves about people is most of people. I can't talk. I'm sorry. But a lot of people assume that all furries are zoophiles, which is really fucked up because we're not. Only some of us are.
Hmm. And my dad like doesn't get anything because like he got a lot of people get this confused, but Satanists do not worship Satan. That's the Satan worshippers. Two different things.
Mm.
Yes. I'm not a Satanist myself. I have friends who are.
Yeah. Or like one thing that somewhat upsets me is people just assume that well, at least for me anyway, growing up, I only assumed there was one religion and that was like Christianity and like Mormon and all that.
Oh, no.
I thought there was only one like monotheist religion. I thought that was it, and then atheists.
Oh
And
God.
yeah, and then I found out what Hellenismos is, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I like that. Like, why
Ha!
didn't they just teach me what Hellenismos is?
They don't teach you anything other than fucking Christianity or whatever religion your parents are. Like your parents, whatever religion they are, is what religion they teach you. And then obviously there's atheists, the people that don't believe in your religion.
Sorry, I hear like weird clicking noises. I'm messing around with magnets.
Yeah, like atheists are the people that don't believe in any religion.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
growing up, I thought there was Christians, Mormons, and atheists. That was it.
I mean, Mormons are Christians. Like what?
There is a difference, though. There's a difference between
Mm.
Mormons and Christians. My parents were very strict about that.
Yeah, like I wasn't really taught like oh I was raised in a Christian household. Like I wasn't really taught like oh Mormons Christianity there's a difference. No, I was taught that Mormons super Christians. Like
Somewhat.
they take this like no Mormons are basically super Christians. That's what I was taught. It's like they take this thing way too seriously. Like
That's what. So that's
because
kind of like
like
the
I was
opposite of
at
what I was taught because
when
I was.
when I can't when I turned 13 when I was 13 I was baptized in the Mormon church. I was in the Mormon church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was baptized when I was like 10, and that's only because my mother wanted me to, and I wanted to make her happy.
Um,
And so I did, even though I was
yeah.
like just getting into Hellenismos and all that.
Yeah.
To anyone confused about what Hellenismos is, it's the belief in the Greek gods or Roman gods, but there's two parts of it, like the Roman gods and the Greek gods. I personally believe in the Greek ones.
You know, that's actually a part of like, that's actually a part of Satanism, as like Satanists as well, right? Because like I interviewed a Satanist. They were like, it was like I simple question. I was like, hey, is, if I wanted to be a Satanist, what exactly would I have to believe in and everything? And they're like, oh, simple. You would have to believe in obviously Satan, Lucifer, the seven stages of hell, and either the Greek gods or the North pagan gods.
Mm. Yeah. Not all Hellenistic people are technically Satanists, because in order to technically be a Satanist and believe in Hellenismos, you also have to believe in Satan. Personally, I believe in Hades, but
Like, uh,
I do know someone who is
I
a
mean,
Satanist
I
and
listening
Hellenistic.
to like the stories on in the Bible, like Satan, and then like going to Greek mythology and like thing to the stories on Hades. I mean, you kind of have to feel sorry for the people. Yeah, you kinda have to
Mm. But also, one thing that is kind of
feel
odd and like a lot of people find shocking. Well, yes, I am Hellenistic. I don't know all of the gods. There are certain gods that I worship and certain gods.
What?
Yeah, no, so you don't have to know all the gods and you don't have to know all the gods' backstories and anything to be Hellenistic. All you need to know are the four pillars. You need to have your deities, your like main deities. Most of them happen to be the Olympians. Um, and you have to know like the basics of it. But other than that, you don't really have to know that much in order to be Hellenistic.
The funny thing is, I was just thinking I might be getting a dog, and that's a big might. Um, I
Name
was
it Dionysus.
thinking like
Dionysus is the god of wine and ecstasy.
I wasn't going to I was going to name it Zeus.
Ah, close
Like,
enough. But no,
I
name
was
it
gonna name
Dionysus because Dionysus is the god of fucking ecstasy, like drugs and shit.
like I mean Dionysus. I mean, kind of don't like the dude. Kind of don't like the
Hmm.
dude. I mean, have you read Percy Jackson? I mean, read
But Percy Jackson is not entirely accurate.
I know. I mean, it's close enough.
Mm.
Close enough. Because,
Close
like,
enough.
I mean, it's still Greek mythology. It's still Greek.
It's close enough, yeah.
It's Greek mythology, but it's like fiction at the exact same time. It's
Yeah. One thing
because,
that
like,
one thing that like I know a lot of like people like who are Hellenistic get angered at me about is the fact that I only have three deities and
yeah.
none of them are the Olympians. And that
But
angers so many
the
people.
oh, so the Percy Jackson they're actually making a Percy Jackson TV series, and it's supposed to come out sometime next year. Sometime next year.
Hmm.
On Disney Plus, of course. On Disney
Of
Plus.
course. Oh my god. Okay, you know how Disney bought both Fox and Marvel?
Yeah. Wait,
Disney combined.
didn't they buy 21st Century Fox?
No, they bought like the entire company of Fox.
Damn.
They bought like every bit of Fox. But sorry, I have a cold. But to make a long story short, they took The Simpsons and Marvel and combined them. So now
Oh
there's
yeah.
sports on Disney Plus that's like The Force Awakens from its nap. Where like Maggie goes to like a daycare and like loses her bow or whatever, and like an R2D2, I think it's R2D2. it's BB-8. I'm a retard. Helps her out. It's fucking adorable. It's like 8 minutes. It's on Disney Plus. You need to go watch it.
I don't have Disney Plus,
I will
but
give you my Disney Plus so you can watch it. It
okay.
is so amazing. It is amazing.
Because me and my girlfriend has Disney Plus. I was just planning on seeing if she could ask her parents if she could give me the login.
Yeah.
But I mean, like
Wait, what was our
it
original
the
topic?
hold on,
We
let me
got
say
so off
something.
topic.
Hold on, one sec before we go back to topic. In the Percy Jackson movie, in one of the Percy Jackson movies, in the second one, it was funny. There was this part that was hilarious where Dionysus, the god of wine and all that, he took a bottle of wine and poured some into a cup and it turned to water. And then he's like, and then he turned to somebody. I can't remember who he turned to, but he was like, the Christians have a guy who could do this in reverse. It was
That's
hilarious. But yeah. Well, we were originally talking about like abuse, like physical, mental, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Physical, mental, verbal.
And then we got off topic and started talking about fucking Percy Jackson.
Well, Greek mythology in general.
Yeah, and Greek mythology in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun stuff. How long does this have to be? The last episode was like, what, half an hour?
It was like an hour and something.
Okay.
Yeah, like I tried to go for an hour or something. It could be shorter than that if it doesn't have to be an hour.
Yeah, but somewhere around an hour.
Yeah.
We were close enough. We got around 45 minutes to go. We
Yep.
can stretch it out that long. We're fine. But, as far as, like, abuse and all that goes, have I talked about the Trevor Project yet? I want to talk about the Trevor Project.
I think you mentioned that.
I want to talk about the Trevor Project. It makes me
We
happy.
could talk about it again.
Yay.
I mean, this is as much as your podcast as it is mine. Do what you want.
Ah, shit. I just got a text from my mother saying, hey, we have to talk, like, we come here. And now I'm concerned.
Oh. Well, let's wrap this up and then you can go.
Yeah, we'll take a part 3.
Well, I was just gonna do like a couple more minutes and then wrap this up and upload it.
Oh, yeah, that works.
Ah.
Yeah. But, yeah. Sometime... Never mind, I forgot what I was going to say. I'm a retard.
You wanted to talk about the Trevor Project.
Yeah! Yeah. So, the Trevor Project is for LGBTQ youth. It's like a charity. They have like a hotline you can call, like a number you can text if you're feeling like suicidal or you need help. I've had to call that number multiple times. And it's been a lifesaver for me. It's amazing. Okay, my mother just texted me again and said now, so I gotta go.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It's been fun. And we'll see y'all when we see you. And remember, don't do drugs alone, do them with your family. But yeah. See ya.